Welcome to JGTCR. I'm Cope, and today we are tuning the Ferrari F12berlinetta. Let's get into it. This Ferrari is one hefty and lazy vehicle. It gets annoying in about 0.3 seconds, and it only gets more frustrating after that. The handling feels like it just got out of bed after a huge bender the night before. It's lethargic and zoned out of what is going on around it. The steering is borderline unacceptable. When not using other inputs, it's okay, but add throttle or brakes and it's complete mud. Understeer central. There is plenty of power available, but the F12 makes poor use of it. This vehicle seems lazy when we plant the accelerator and run through the gears. That is, when we manage to get traction. The power delivery is pretty terrible. It will break traction on a whim, and it's also slow to go when we get grip. If the tail end does hook while cornering, understeer comes into effect quickly and ruthlessly. It's best to keep revs no higher than 5,000 RPM for maximum control while cornering, and we should only go full throttle on straights. When slides do occur, they are devastating to our momentum and very unpleasant to control. The brakes are slow to respond when applied and take a long time to come into effect. The brakes also tend to lock the front wheels up and make us plow straight ahead. So it's best to use 80% braking when we need to maneuver the vehicle when entering turns. Let's collect our time. "7 minutes, 2.1 seconds. Let's take a look at the race tune. The F12 had both over and understeer to contend with. We have done our best to have a well-balanced tune that dealt with both issues. Let's get back out on the Nürburgring. Modification and tuning has done wonders for this Ferrari. It now drives as well as it should, and it is a world apart from what it once was. The handling is much improved overall. It is more maneuverable and agile. However, it can still seem a touch lazy from time to time. The steering is well pointed in most conditions, but it can still see bouts of mild understeer when full throttle and or in higher RPM. As such, the lower RPM rules still apply for maximum control while cornering. The power has been bumped 50%, and it feels much more alive. This is noticeable in the attentiveness and crispness on throttle. The power delivery is still considerably aggressive. However, it has been subdued by our tune for the most part. That being said, it can and will give us a hard time if we are an oaf on the inputs. The lower three gears on this Ferrari should be considered like dropping into first gear. It can make the car erratic if RPM is too high. We should also use extreme caution when applying power in these gears. The brakes are fairly stable, but still have some Mr. Plow issues. Again, 80% braking helps. And we can also apply some rear brake bias for slightly better steering. Let's collect our time. 6 minutes 0.7 seconds. And now the drift tube. Balancing the F12berlinetta was a bit of a chore. It required most of our ballast, a Nerf diff, and an extremely soft tail end. Let's see how it performs drifting Suzuka. There is just no easy means to set up a Ferrari for drifting, even when the format is front engine rear wheel drive. The F12 is just as moody in the tail end as an MR Ferrari. Bending its wheel without breaking it is difficult, and while it may not be perfect, it is manageable. The handling is okay for now, but the front end can still suffer from understeer, which can lead to Mr. Plow moments. There is plenty of power, which is great for baking the tyres, but it is very peaky blinders. This means it can be difficult to balance the throttle at times. But the power delivery is where they get ya. Sometimes it comes on like a light switch, while other times there's a slight delay to getting on full song. At the end of the day, the Ferrari F12berlinetta does drift, but it's not great at it. And that's all we have for you today, so until next time, keep racing!